Welcome, everyone, to the Thursday, March 12th, 2026 meeting of the Village of Lansing staff and the Board of Trustees. John, we'll start with you and your crew.
Okay. Come right off from snow, went right into budget. Pretty much, I think we're, just been the last few weeks. I've taken some time off this last pay period. And before that was just basically cramming, getting budget done. Lots of stuff to do, lots of stuff planning. Had a few meetings with, obviously, Templeton about the grant. Of course, people that didn't know. Went really well. Doesn't look like we're gonna have that project underway very soon. We're still trying to iron out some easements and stuff. Michelle, I think's her name, right? She wanted us to get all the easements and everything. If there's any temporary, most of the grant we proved ownership, but some of the sidewalk will require a little grading outside of the ownership part, and we'll need to get some temporary easements. Not many, just a few. Most of the corridor of both the projects on Uptown and Craft Road, very few property owners on the span of it. It's not like a little hamlet with, very narrow road frontages, which makes it hard to get right-of-way acquisitions. Other than that, not really much going on. Greenway stuff, I'd like to talk about the trees a little bit, and I would like to talk, obviously, a little bit about the budget. And I don't know what sequence you want to do that in.
You can start the trees, I think.
So the budget's pretty much is done for 26, 27. The budget has allocated items. Some of the allocated funding for some projects that we want to do in lieu of some other things, I would need some potential money to be relocated in those fundings to fund it, I guess. So I'd like to go over a few with you, and one of them is the traffic signals, the mile vision detection system, like we had here, as I explained, probably dozens of times in length. We want to put them in because it correlates with our paving projects. Or like share some of that up. Eventually in Warren Road, we want to kind of blend the remaining items and the new budget. We want to kind of blend them together so hopefully we can do paving the last week of May and then work into the new budget season the first week of June. That's our hope to do. So when doing so, we're going to be paving around some traffic loops, like up at Warren Road and Uptown and Arrowwood. So I need some money. Eventually, if I get the green light to do this, we'll eventually need to move some money. So that's one of them. The trees we had planned for Trip Hammer. Did anybody have any questions on that, Mile Vision?
So he needs to clarify that is what he has left. He wants to get done this year. And if you look at we gave you the budget and what he's gonna get done, that was listed as one of the items. However, that line item has no money, so it would have to have money transferred from another line item, which if you're not doing your park project this year, it'll be no problem. We could transfer it right from there over.
I guess my question is, would any of the expense for the signal systems, could we attribute that to our grant?
No, just outside of the grant.
It's outside of the grant areas, okay. Okay. All right.
So, I like your way of thinking, though.
Yeah, we'll just.
Any other questions on that item? Let's move down to storm.
Can we just finish that? Do you want him to do that?
Yes.
Yeah, do you have any issues with me?
How much would we have to transfer, John?
I know there's I think 10 or 15,000 in there, so I'm thinking probably like 40-ish, 40,000.
40,000?
Yeah, just to relocate the money. We're not using it in like the sidewalk program, since we had that budgeted this year, since we're not going to be able to do it, and we're going to have it allocated in the 26, 27 budget. So we have enough money, plenty of money to just relocate it into a little bit of some other funding.
So you would need an additional $25,000.
About 40.
Additional.
No, this is to be in this year's budget. I think you're getting.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Right. No.
It's for this year's budget.
The 20,
It's-
yeah, 2025, 26 budget.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I talked to him previously, and he has 60,000 allocated. However, he doesn't know if that's an exact, so he doesn't want to do a transfer until we find out
The cost.
the actual cost.
Okay.
And we typically do those at the next budget meeting, once I get the nod, the approval.
We've got more information.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
The one other project that I didn't have enough money in the funding for was, and I've explained this in previous meetings, was the storm crossing pipes on Cuga Hills Road, and there's some on Janivar. We do have some money for Janivar project in there, but I'm not gonna have enough to do all of Cuga Hills and Hampton Hills. Those pipes that I reported in a previous meeting that they failed, they totally failed upon inspection prior to paving those roads, which we have them allocated to be paved.
paved.
in
We'll do that
May.
before we pave.
I wanna do that before, so. Again, I had just rough numbers on everything. Since the one on Janivar, we've been looking at it, the pipe is gonna be 100 feet long. It's gonna be a very, very deep dig. I wouldn't say it's quite as tall as the ceiling in here, but it's gonna be a deep dig. At least, 10 to 12 feet deep. It comes out, what's the address? Probably like 27 Janivar Drive. We did put some money in the budget for that, for storm work, for the for the sidewalk project. We had money in there for the Craft Roads sidewalk project.
Right.
So again, there's plenty of money to just shuffle around a little bit to do these projects. It just, I kind of have to have your approval before I commit to them. You know what I mean? Just your blessing. I want you to be up to date on them and everything. Some of them were unexpected expenses, like the Cuga Hills, Hampton Hills culvert pipes down by Roy Parks off from Cuga Heights Road.
Okay.
And then the final project to move some money is the beautification for the 38 pear trees on Trip Hammer. Again, we want to get these in the spring, and in doing so would require just relocating a little bit of money to cover those expenses.
For 38 trees?
Yeah.
How much, what is the estimated cost for 38?
I had 40,000 in the budget, about $1,000 a tree. You have to remove the other trees, which is a process and it's an expense.
Yes.
Once you remove the other trees, you have to modify the dirt that's in there.
Prepare for
And then, preparation, and then the planting itself.
So the removal, purchase the tree, and replanting is about $1,000 per tree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which I think is I think we can trim it down once we find out exactly what tree we choose and this and that, and then 2,500 or 5,000 is gonna be grant money.
We hope.
Well, I had
that's-
a good conversation with Janine,
Uh-huh.
so I'm optimistic. But it's 25 matching 25,
Right.
so it's only 25.
Yeah.
So it's a small amount when you do the olive trip number.
Right.
But it's not nothing. It will help.
Yeah.
She liked the project though.
No, it's perfect.
Try to do all 38 trees simultaneously, or were you
Just in
stages?
quadrants, just in those sections. I want to try to, so I'm going to split it off in two phases. Basically, we have a phase from Graham Road to the north on the end to the, I think it's going to be right around Brook Drive. Okay.
We have to have a discussion about who's gonna have the final decision about
Trees.
the type of tree. So there's been a lot of discussion in the Greenway Committee about this. When we submitted the grant, ultimately, we decided it's only for a handful of trees, so if this isn't the final tree, that's fine. We said hawthorn at the end of the day. We were going back between the flowering cherry, the flowering crabapple, and the hawthorn. The hawthorn is native, and it had some advantages that tree people gave to me. I personally was just like, whatever you more experienced people think, will submit for. But there was a lot to be said for more than one type of tree.
Right.
for resilience reasons and also kind of beauty. They're not all going off at the same time. So if we're gonna do all of the trees, I do want to decide who's gonna be the final arbiter, if you want it to be this group, John, or the Greenway Committee, just who's gonna make the final decision on, do we do all one tree or do we do separate trees? Because it is hopefully gonna last 45 years.
Would it be beneficial to have like a landscaping plan for this?
I don't think it's gonna make a difference, the landscaping plan itself. I think, I did a lot of research this morning, and even the tree that I kind of preferred, what was it?
Adirondack crab.
Adirondack
I love
crab
that
apple.
tree.
The problem is we had an area on Graham Road that had a berry producing tree. So the hawthorn, the Adirondack crabapple, they produce a berry. And when I started doing more research on them, the berries are a mess in the sidewalks. Like, I mean, I can remember getting complaints on the Graham Road section, just above MVP Physical Therapy there, between there and the church, there was a house that had a flowering crabapple over the sidewalk, and the berries on the sidewalk actually made it slippery.
Right.
There's the sugar in it, you know what I mean? So I'm concerned about everything that we picked already, so I think we need to go back and revisit this. And I think we'll have plenty of time to work with the Greenway Committee and the landscape company to choose the right tree.
And also, I do think that there was a good reason to maybe do some of those maples in some of the places where there's not a power line. So we have a
Right.
little more height. Because I don't want to run into any kind of height issues, but they also
Right.
were a favorite amongst a lot of people, you know.
So yeah, I mean, definitely what I would like to do is work with Cuba Landscape and the Greenway Committee and my department to kind of come to a conclusion, a happy medium, common ground on what's the right tree to put in here.
Right. Trees.
I have concerns with the berries, and I love the Adirondack crabapple. I think it was an awesome tree, and it fit our room. We had very little room there, but I'm concerned about the berries.
Berries, yeah.
So the second thing that I'm concerned about with the hawthorn is the thorns.
No, we're getting the thornless.
We searched it up, they still have up to 1.5 inch thorns on them. So
Weird, they didn't
they
mention
said there's sometimes, it's not common, but they'll have 1.5 inch, up to 1.5 inch thorns. Now, the thorn one, they'll grow up 3-inch thorns. So we gotta be careful about all
I'll
that.
ask them about that.
Yeah.
But it was the thornless
They get-
variety.
Interesting.
Mature at 20 years, they're like 25 to 35 feet tall, the hawthorn.
So I think we need to go back and just,
All of the species, there's so many different ones.
Yeah,
The winter king
yeah,
and the green one.
yeah, the winter king was 25 to 35 feet tall at 20 years, and it was like
Not
25
on
feet
Dave's
wide.
list.
I looked it up this morning.
On Dave's list?
No,
Oh, I only used Dave's list.
I just
'Cause
gave,
we weren't looking at trees that tall on Dave's
well,
list.
he gave me the name. Well,
Yeah.
after
All right,
mature.
we'll have to double check the
Yeah.
type for sure.
Okay, let's do what you said. Work with the Greenway Committee, landscaping company, if it takes more than one landscaping company to get.
that's right.
So just to get adequate information, to get exactly what we want where.
Right.
But I tend to agree that a variety of trees, because of the location, would be nice to have. But if
Yeah.
it's all one and we get a good price, if we can purchase in bulk,
Right.
it's good too.
So I guess, so those 3 items on the remaining expenditure list are, they're funded, but they're not funded adequately to do it. And we have the money in there, just rob Peter to pay Paul kind of thing.
Yes.
I feel like we could get it done. So what my biggest goal is to move quickly with the Greenway Committee so we can get these in. Not uneducated, but quickly and educated, the right tree.
Are you free on Monday at 10:30?
Yes. This Monday. And that's the email you sent out?
I haven't sent it out yet.
Oh,
Can you have the landscaping company have representative in to answer?
might be able to, but I think we do some research prior to Monday morning. I'll reach out to a couple of them and let them know a couple concerns about the berries. And, again, the blazing maples, or not the blazing maples, but
Freeman?
maples, they grow big, and they start to push the walk in the curb. So we got to find the common ground for everything. We got 20 years out of these trees. because of what they call the tree lawn area. That's the curb to the sidewalk is very limited in there.
Yes.
The grass, the green space.
Right.
We did a lot of right-of-way acquisitions for the Trip Hammer project. Just never seemed like we have enough ownership of land. So that's all I have.
John, while we're on the subject, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
While we're on the subject, does this have anything to do with the trees on Graham Road West? Because I get asked about that quite a bit. Are there some that are getting replaced on there? I guess someone died or whatever.
They're already replaced.
They were already.
They were already replaced.
So
Yeah.
I didn't know.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You have a question?
Finish?
Oh, no, yeah, I think we're finished. Yeah, we replaced them. Robinson reached out directly to Cuba Landscape. We had a couple complaints. I think Lorraine was one of them, that the trees died a little bit at the top. They were under a year warranty, and the company that planted them went AWOL, wouldn't respond or nothing. Because there's not a lot of money in trees. If you got $1,000 in there and then you have to buy another tree and replant it, you still have to pay those people prevailing wage all over again.
Yeah.
And they just went extinct. And I said, this is a hang up. Robinson went directly to Cuba Landscape, had them all replanted, and they purchased the year warranty with them and watering.
Okay.
So, which is better than what we ended up with under the contract.
I was just,
Yeah.
it was just asked because of we're doing a landscaping plan for Chipotle. They were-
Right.
Just make sure they leave them in that because they're in the right of way.
Yeah,
Those
they're-
trees are in
they're
the
on
right
our
of
property
way.
on that.
They're on the village property, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Did you have a question?
Just, there's already an established list of criteria for both sides, east and west on Trip Hammer. So in advance of the meeting with the arborist landscape architect, give them that criteria list so they can filter out, give you the trees, pros and cons.
Sure. East side of Trip Hammer has a narrower tree lawn area, has a very narrow tree lawn area. West side has a little bit more room in between the sidewalk. Just so, you know.
So if they have that in advance, they can then put forth
Yeah.
the primary 3, 4 recommendations.
Sure. So I got a little bit of work to do Monday. So those are the two things. I do want to bring a concern up. The vestibule out here, it was raining really hard one night. We decided that it was going to be a decent day. Chris stopped in to sign us out. And there was some kind of person in here kind of hanging out. And it was soaking wet in there. Like they were going out smoking cigarettes and then coming back in because he found an empty pack of cigarette, one cigarette
and a lighter.
in there.
So I got a lighter out of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seemed like this here was a safe haven. I don't know. I did talk to Jody about it a little bit. She needs to have it open for people to pay their bills. But I think if anybody that drives by could maybe just take a peek, see it in there and look at it once in a while. Nothing's gonna prevent it. Nothing's gonna fix it. It's just, maybe it was just a single occasion, but it was soaking wet in there. It was kind of disgusting.
Do you want me to get the county police or county sheriff's office involved and ask if, when the weather's bad, put that on one of the rounds and they can drive through for us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Have them drive.
Just say, in particular, days of bad rain or bad weather, it seems to be shelter. Because if a lighter's involved, there's all sorts of paper things.
That's my concern more than
If they want to
anything.
get.
We have so much to lose here.
Yes, yeah.
And that was my biggest concern, because I said to him, there was no fires in there, was nothing like that being burned in there, he couldn't see
Is
that.
there a smoke detector in there?
There's a nice heater in there.
You
Yeah,
put a smoke detector in there.
we should turn the heat off. So it's not such a convenient, warm, comfy place for him.
It'll be dry.
Another option is potentially put in a second mail drop so that people could pass it through the window. And
That's an option, and that's a good option. I mean, you're just inviting people here
Yeah.
with a lighter, those two combinations. Do not confront these people.
No,
Do
absolutely.
not confront these people.
Many times
have
they are.
nothing to lose.
Many times, the homeless person is armed because they protect themselves.
No.
You stay away from them.
Do not confront them. Drive right by if you see them in there and call the cops.
Call the sheriff's department, yes. But I will call and ask Derek if we can have them drive by at, because they make rounds anyway, and just say, check on it, that we've had this issue and we're concerned. So,
I just wanted to bring you up to speed on it, that we're looking for it when we're coming in. We come in, wee hours.
I wasn't very observant because I drove by the door to walk to the back door and they must have gone out the front when I parked.
They were running and they lost their cigarettes on the way around, so. He went down the road and come back in half an hour.
What time of day was this?
It's like last Tuesday, Sunday,
What time of day?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Yeah.
It was raining out. So I went to the back door and then when I went to the back door, they must have went out the front door.
I don't know if it's related, but I had Beth Tanner come here from the Ithaca Mall saying that someone had gotten into their place, a homeless person had gotten into the mall overnight. And they had called the sheriff's department and gotten that person out. He started to camp out on that little, did I tell you, or did I tell these guys, that little triangle, it's at the end of Pyramid Drive, where the stormwater is to the right there. And so I went down there and I saw the cart there and everything, and the tent was partially there, and so when I come back for something else, I went back down, it was gone. So we had this issue 3 years ago.
yes, we did.
So if anybody sees anything, let me know. Because I don't know if it's related or not. But
It correlates, seems to.
Is there anyone, and Jody, you might know this, but anyone in the room, is there anyone that could come in and give us an estimate on putting a new mail drop outside through that glass, rather than having to come inside, because that solves a lot of problems. If we can lock the door, of course, then they can just drop something through, but they can do that now. Yeah.
So you would have to probably take the whole panel of glass out.
You probably would have to reconfigure the glass and put something like below it with a slot.
You don't think they could get something that drops into your closet through the bricks? They can take them bricks out and easily fasten something to the bricks, and it falls into a metal cabinet, so if it was,
It falls into a metal cabinet.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, if we could have that outside.
Or if we even
Well, then
changed
you're
it.
also, if you're gonna do that outside, you're gonna have to do something with.
The sidewalk,
Yeah, the sidewalk.
redo it a little bit.
It's
I
something,
think we should.
No, it goes right there.
Sidewalk.
The sidewalk goes out there.
Happening.
yeah, let's
Let's not jump
monitor
to
it.
No, let's think about it, though.
Think about a potential solution, long-term. Short-term,
Yeah.
I'll just call the sheriff's department this afternoon and ask,
So I just wanted to bring that up.
no, thank you.
Okay, and then, any budget questions? Did anybody go through, I mean, we went through line by line. I thought we went through it pretty thorough on Monday night there. I just need to know if you had any concerns or anything like that. I don't really see anything. It's pretty straightforward.
Oh, watering. Remember we talked about, and I didn't see it as a budget line, and it may be included in something you already do, but all the flower boxes, all the whatever beautification happens, our summertime plan.
We added a little bit of money in the beautifications. I think it's
So that's-
increased a little bit.
We have a tank, don't we? A watering tank? Is that what you're talking about? Like going out and actually
But
watering?
but,
No, we don't have one. It cracked.
Happened to
Got
it.
rid of it. It cracked. Yeah, they don't last forever.
right, and you don't have time to do it.
Not really. I mean, I don't think fake flowers. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, absent fake flowers, what do you need to get our plants watered in the village that we're,
We need to expand our contract with Cuyahoga Landscape to have them do that.
And I think we put a little extra money in there for that.
did you put enough?
8510.4. $22,000 in there. The Jim and Diane Orcutt plant flower boxes, pollinator garden prep, bulb planting.
But I didn't see
Planting.
anything that said
We had
And
something.
those are just.
The office.
Line, it's the big
Yeah.
things that happen. Like, we don't list, for instance, highway, we don't list gas and
Yeah.
all the different little things.
Components.
You just list the big.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
One of the
We have enough in there, and if we ever get low on it, I think the board would agree to do a budget mod of some sort to.
Because we're doing so much concentrating on beautification and
Right.
sidewalks and trails.
Right.
Be-
I feel like we're pretty well financed in there.
Okay.
The
Thanks for-
Mega Landscape, do we allow them to come into our property and fill their tanks to drive around? And
We can hit off they can hit off their hydrants up here, but yeah, we
if
can,
needed?
yeah, we allow that.
Okay.
I mean, if it's for our projects, Bolton Point allows us. Normally, if it's not for our projects, they move to Bolton Point and purchase the water off them. And Bolton Point and I have an agreement that if it's for a municipal, that earmarked for that municipal's project, then we have what we call a PRZ, a pressure reducing and a backflow preventer that screws onto our hydrant up there in our shop. And we use it for people like if we're paving, they get water for the milling, and they, for flushing our sewer lines, they come up, because if they have to pay for it, it's a passed on cost to us anyway.
Right.
So it doesn't make
At a
sense.
higher rate.
Yeah, exactly. So, so yes, we can do anything like that.
Okay.
As long as it's something to do specifically for the village.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Not just
Anything more than that, they could go down and buy.
Okay.
One last final thing I have before I pass the baton here. Verizon's coming to me with a bunch of highway permits for miscellaneous fiber optic install, FiOS install. And they have too many open-ended items out in this village with all the poles that aren't being cut down. I reported to the board on it previously. They call it deadwood. If NICEAG comes in and puts a taller pole in next to a pole, every utility starts to cut it down. When you transfer over to the new pole, they cut it down to the next line. Verizon's always the last one on the bottom one on the pole. And we have a ton of deadwood around, and anytime we have an issue with Verizon, if we have a utility locate, they're the last people to get there. If we have a deadline, we have to call a corporate company. Corporate side of things, and getting through to them is almost impossible. I'm not holding the permits hostage in any way, but I want them to clean up things. I just want you guys to be on notice that they're gonna clean up things before they get issued a permit.
Good idea.
We've done an informal request that they do that, in other words.
Oh, yeah.
It's a formal request, but not a contractual thing.
I had tons of dialogue with these people, and and I know there's already services there for these places anyway. It's just they want to be the guy that comes in and string all this files all along. And we don't have much room in our infrastructure anymore.
Right.
We are really tight with gas lines, water lines, sewer lines.
Stormwater.
Every time, so they call it a URD, it's a joint trench. They come in and they put electric, they put Time Warner, they put Verizon, and they stack them all in the same trench. Well, if something goes bad in there, they move over. The law says they can't dig within 2 feet of this thing, of this URD trench, so they move over 3 feet. Okay, now everybody's moved over 3 feet, and we have all this footprint of utilities underground. And there's coming a point now, because Time Warner was the biggest problem, is they have coax. And if coax gets hit anywhere with a rock or a shovel, it ruins the whole line from hub to hub. We're talking 400 or 500 feet. So they come in and they put another line next to it, and we've allowed that. And that's part of the franchise agreement that the village went through. But there comes a time where we just don't have any more footprint available in our right of way.
And what happens in that case?
They start attaching to telephone poles and stuff like that. Okay. Or get right of way acquisitions outside of the village right of way. They have to go down and get the property owner's easement down through there. And they don't want to do that because that takes time.
You know why?
Yeah, we know why that's hard, because we go through easement acquisitions all the time, and it's difficult. But that's what I'm doing. I want them to clean stuff up, and I want some easy points of contact contact for the village.
Right.
When we were under such a delay on the sewer installation up here because Verizon wouldn't come and mark their lines. And we basically, they hit a couple of them, and all of a sudden now they come after they've been hit, and they want to send a bill to somebody because corporate holds them accountable, and they want to send a bill to either the village contractor or the village, and we're not going to let them do that.
Right.
So they're in our right of way, they're not going to send us a bill. So, unpreventable. Sometimes you call in a utility locate, they mark the gas. You dig around the gas.
Yes.
The way it is.
Yep.
That's all I have. Any other questions? Any questions on the invoices? Billing?
My question is about, you marked the gas lines and stuff for 60 Wedgewood. We gotta dig that out.
Yeah, we're gonna dig it out.
Do you-
Yeah, now that the frost
If they
is
ask
ground.
me, what should I tell them?
If they ask you,
Yeah,
tell them probably we're looking at a couple weeks. What we've been planning is we've started the hand railing on the, we're gonna have to custom fab the hand railing for the back of the mall. And we're gonna put the chevron signs up. We talked about doing that in the fall, but in the winter.
okay.
And then ditching. I'm glad we didn't ditch it. Did you see all
Her driveway did not freeze this year, so.
Yeah.
It's great.
Which is amazing because we had a lot of
It
cold.
was just different. Last year, there was ice everywhere.
Yeah, freeze thaw
Icy.
is the worst. We had a solid freeze all through the winter, and then you don't have the water issues that you normally
It
would
wasn't as
have.
bad this year, but
The roads took a beating this year with cracks and heaves, and I mean, everybody knows the infamous bump up here in North Lansing there by Alex Cole. I mean, that bump come up like that, they put bump signs on it. But yeah, they took a big beating this year with freeze thaw.
Ours have been pretty good though, right?
Yeah, ours stayed pretty good, but they did come up a little bit and cracked, like this DI out here just by the old office. You can see all the cracks around that DI that come up. So, any other things?
That's it.
Good, thanks.
Chris?
Winding out of winter, getting geared up for the summer work. I ordered a bunch of filters to service the equipment yesterday, so that'll take a few weeks to get everything serviced
Prep
again.
work, right?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Nick?
And cleaning up equipment, giving it a good wash down this time, hoping it's the last.
Yes.
You are?
Last couple days were pretty nice.
Keep our fingers crossed anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, cleaning up the shop and stuff, so.
Is that it? Thanks. Mike?
I just finished up the 1203 report to New York State. That involves letting them know last year, any building permits, type of building permits. Same way with fire inspections, what type of inspection, operating permits, violations, everything you can think of. I have all that logged, so it didn't really take that long to turn that in, but that's already submitted on time and then everything's good for that. Now I get to turn to the real fun stuff like the MS4 report that I have to do. This past year, we have to, we've got to identify all of the village properties. I asked Jody for a list and I went through some more to find any other properties. I'll be giving Jody a list back of what I found. What I have to do with those is distinguish whether they're high priority or low priority. This village is small enough where the only high priority areas that we have would be the DPW. And then the low priority areas are all the little properties that the village owns, any of the stormwater ponds we own. Any of the stormwater ponds that have a SWIP to it, I have to send them a copy of that. And then I also have to go out to all the small properties and during the wet season, which I'm assuming is going to be coming up here shortly, and take photos to see how drainage is working on those properties and if anything has to be done to it. There's a couple other little boring stuff we have to do also with that, but I'll have to update our stormwater maintenance plan, which is the SWAP, is what we call it. And once I reorganize it, I'm gonna have Ronnie put it on our website so it can be viewed by anybody in the village. And then I have to send out notification that it can be viewed by anybody in the village. I should be able to do that just on the website if somebody wants to look at that. And then in the fall newsletter, not the spring one, the fall newsletter, I'll have a section for stormwater that lists out who you can contact and where you can go to see the swamp, and then a lot of the details. So that'll be coming up. Well, like I said, I'm working on that right now. I'll be coming to you for a signature here before the next month. We did it last.
Yes, I remember, yeah.
So that's basically what I've been doing. To give you an update on Chipotle, the planning board reviewed the landscaping plan this past meeting and have come up with a solution with it. There were some arrangements on it that they wanted to change, and added some trees in order to meet what the tree law requires. Did get the issue with the sidewalk completed along the Butler roadside. Also, in speaking with Chris Fiello, got him moving along with a demo permit. He's gotten me everything that's required for that, including his asbestos report, which they found nothing that's friable in the building.
Good.
So they do have a demo permit, and he wants to make sure that he demos it before the end of March. So I would imagine next few weeks we'll end up seeing him do that. I expect Chipotle to send me the building plans so that I can start my review on that. Once the building plans are issued, then McFarland Johnson is going to get a hold of you about details for sewer and anything else that you want to take a look at. They'll be contacting Brent Cross about the actual stormwater plan. It's not a full SWIP, so it's not anything that's too complex. There's already a stormwater system on the site that is functional. So there shouldn't be all that much of an issue. So I see this moving forward rather easily.
So he made his deadline with Chipotle to get them working on his plans?
Yeah, if he can get it to me quick enough, I'll make sure I concentrate on it as fast as I can.
Okay.
The village should have all our ducks in a row on this, which we do.
Thank you, Mark. It's good.
Some of the little things around the village, Econo Lodge is under new ownership. They are looking for a franchise to work with, so it won't be Econo Lodge anymore. So we'll stay tuned with that. I think they're gonna, in speaking with the new owner, I believe they're gonna start doing a renovation on that in a few months. So I think it's mostly cosmetic from what he's discussed. I've also had a contact for a proposed battery energy storage system that would actually be classified as a utility system, which means it would actually produce, it wouldn't be personalized, it would be for a certain entity, it would actually produce and go back onto the grid. We have at this point, I say we as in the zoning, does not have a way to handle this type of large BESS system. So we're kind of putting it, and speaking with the planning board, we're kind of putting it on the schedule here to kind of take a look at how we would handle that, because we can no longer handle it as an accessory building. It's just too big. It's a half-acre system. So we're also somewhat waiting for the town of Dryden to get done with they're already working on a zoning, so we can take a look and see how they handle things. So that could be coming up. There's also our first tier 3 solar array, which could be coming to the village. That too is, tier 3 is something that is over 0.25 megawatts that actually produces enough to go back onto the grid itself. The gentleman I've been working with is shooting for the planning board beginning of April. This is for a roof array on the shops at Ithaca, which actually I feel is quite a good idea. Might as well get some use out of it. And then the last thing was, I asked, I sent out an email and asked if you would watch a certain section of the planning board meeting for the, not the 20 Bomax, but the corner project on Bomax that had an informal presentation. I kind of wanted to get some input back from Board of Trustees to take back to the planning board. They had also agreed that it would be useful if we found out what everyone was also thinking. My first knee-jerk reaction is the elephant in the room, and that's density. They still, if you took a look at it, you'll see that it's still about 400% over what is allowed in the village for density.
Just in the 2 lots?
Yeah, they're only proposing the special permit in the one corner of the wooded lot. And they're proposing 110 units in there.
So real quick, when I looked at it, I saw like 100 and some units. Is that just for that one lot?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the other one then. How many units for that one?
Well, they're looking to put the 110 units in the 3.6 acre lot or the 3-point-some acre lot on the corner, and not include, what's the name of it, the 20.
The transact.
Oh, so the 110 units that's on this, it's labeled, but it's not labeled, it's only for that one lot.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's really.
Between the road and transact.
Mhm.
And then the density is 6,000, you're only talking about 26 allowable. They had also mentioned, if you saw the video, that they would come to the Board of Zoning Appeals for a variance on that. But it's 400% over what? It's kind of a little bit out there, but I did want to get input. If anybody had any other than the.
Again, that all goes back to sewer capacity and the water capacity. That's the biggest thing.
Water capacity, you had said that water in that area was coming from town.
Yeah, and they have to kind of approve it.
Yeah, and we have the units for sewer.
Right.
But once again, you're talking about, I just, as a former builder, I just look at that lot and say, how are you gonna get 110 units on here and commercial? But I'm not in that business anymore.
Yeah.
Well, neither am I, and I agree with you 100%. I keep driving by, and it just doesn't look like it's gonna work, but for all given the water, the sewer, the density,
And they're still talking about not going over 35 feet, so.
I looked at it, I'm like, oh, 110 units for both lots, that ain't bad. I'm like,
We had suggested that may have to be.
the threshold.
Even at that point, you're talking about 80 to 85 units allowed, which may which you may get a variance for, it's possible. But with PDA at 80, 85 units, PDA allows 25% over what the density is. So you'd be allowed, that's how we got the 110.
but they've been negotiating density since day one.
There's been a problem with density since day one, yes.
I think the problem with the planning board presentation is that they don't really talk about density. I watched the video. If somebody's coming to you with a project that's 400% above density, say, this is 400% the allowable density, you can get a PDA possibly for 25. And then that's the whole conversation.
It was gone.
That's the whole
Wasn't
conversation.
discussed. Yeah.
I would be very happy to see a mixed use, interesting childcare, coffee shop. You need 25% above and you need to create a PDA. Well, let's see what the village is getting here. That makes total sense.
Yeah, it's not the concept, the concept is very good.
Right, so just saying, a
And
PDA
they're
usually
selling
is
concept.
5%. And then that's the end of the sentence.
They did complement the comprehensive plan. That was their opening statement. And we think, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
However, bottom line, It's the same argument.
Yeah.
That they started with 20 volt max.
I think the first principle in the comprehensive plan is something like, like pursuant to all of our codes. So you have to follow our codes.
The other thing to consider is that if they're gonna try to put that much on that lot, and they happen to get it from us, then they've got the whole other second lot. And they can just, oh, well, you did it for that one, let's put another 110 on this one.
I think we offer them they have to use the appropriate amount of land in this project.
You get into kind of what Ronnie was saying, that, you approve 110 on that small lot, you just open up the floodgates for whatever, anywhere.
And for anyone else.
Well, it's not on that small lot. It has to be on the lot that is capacity for that. So it has to be on an extended lot. They have to change the lot to appropriate size.
Yeah, well, even with the other,
Two.
with it, you still don't have enough, but you're a little bit
Then
closer.
you're at least closer and you can figure something out.
What would be the total dwelling units allowed between the two lots? 25% over the PDA
110 is what the number, is what they're,
for the whole, both lots.
when they came for their proposal on the PDA, we calculated out what would be the maximum under a PDA if you included the two lots. And that was approximately 11 acres. And it came out to be 110. At that time, at one time, they were 170, 200 and something.
200 and something, yes.
And they got down to 175 and to 140. And then stopped the PDA procedure. And now we're coming back with a 110, which we originally said would work, but it would be under a PDA because of that 25% addition.
But for both properties.
They're trying to, and under a special permit, because now mixed use and multi-unit residential has been added, those uses have been added to the B&T. So that's what they're trying to use now.
Thank you, Mike. Clear and concise.
It's as clear as you can make it.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not clear. It's really not clear to them because they keep spending money. So we have to make it clear.
yeah, we need to be,
It's not clear.
There's a solution there. It's just they're not hitting it at this point. That's what I think.
and they're still saying studio, 1 bedroom.
Right.
That many apartments, in my opinion, would, in that small of confined area, it would be more like a jail cell.
Yes, exactly.
I just feel like when you start putting a kitchen in, there's like 40% of making an apartment. I mean, a little bit more space to it, less kitchens would be less overall frontage cost.
If you're gonna have single unit ones, you're not gonna have families.
No.
That's all there is to it.
I know, but you still gotta put a kitchenette and a bathroom in, and those are the two most expensive rooms when you're building a house.
Yeah.
So that's what we think.
Yeah.
Not a viable.
Have the planning board watch the section of your zoning. That's about all I have. He has a question for me about.
Good job, Mike.
Mike, how do we squeeze 110 units into that 3.6 acre? How do we do that?
How do you do what?
How do we squeeze that number in there? That's my question. We don't, do we?
Not the rules.
And we're not bending rules.
I talked to Jody, I equate 400% is if you have a 35-foot high building, you're allowing a 140-foot high building. So,
There you go. I don't know how, I thought we were pretty clear the last time they came through about real issues. Apparently, we're going to have to repeat that conversation again.
Well, 3 times and out, right?
Not
Nope. Infinite.
a certain person who built a project in the village came back 100.
I know.
Never say 3 and you're out, because it's,
Well, we need to be stronger in setting, and as Lisa Shainline said, what does the code say? I mean, what are the rules?
Right.
I let them know that a variance for that, I didn't state for at that time, variance for what they're looking for. Units would be a tough sell. So, see if they-
Practically impossible sell. Okay.
So
Well, you should use your analogy, say it's as likely as them allowing for a 145-foot tall building.
I like that parity, it makes you.
Yeah, yeah, I think you should say that, that's about as likely as if they would allow that. It's a good analogy.
Is everything, Mike? Any questions for Mike?
Yeah, Mike, before you were here, the rest of us talked about it briefly, but I drove past the fire, and it looks like there's some good construction going on, Graham Road.
We're like ants, so.
Yeah, that's what I said, there was like 20 people out there.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Chris had to let them know about, they had gotten some mud on the road. Chris went in there and gave them the business.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of language barrier in some places though.
Yeah,
To the right.
The first time we ever used the translator on your phone?
not for that one, but I got my Stetson yesterday.
Oh, you better have
Yeah,
it on
they're
your.
going
I
fast.
know I gotta download it.
Sorry, Mike, what did you
They're
say?
going fast and furious there.
Yeah,
This
they-
already looks better.
And they're doing a good job, right? I mean,
I agree. I've walked by several times, been impressed with, they're just constantly working on it, and the changes look good. And they look, it looks like they're replacing them with decent windows where they're actually energy efficient too. So,
They make the required, they just make the required.
better than it was. So, yeah, it's looking good. Any other questions for Mike? Okay, Jody?
So mainly just been working on budget and putting the newsletter together. Just a reminder for everyone that your articles are due by March 17th, which is next Tuesday.
Jody, when does that get published?
It will get, well, it depends if I get articles on the 17th, and how long it takes to put them together and be reviewed, and then, yeah.
I'm asking because the village, the town trails survey closes at the end of the month, so I don't know.
It'll be out before then. It'll be out, it's probably by the end of
All right,
next.
then I'm gonna edit I'm gonna put in some links then to that survey,
Okay. Okay,
okay?
yeah, just send those, just email those over to me. I can make the adjustment. So, working on the budget, I have a few things that we need to discuss since we're continuing our budget discussion here. In the 25-26 budget, we had planned to transfer $305,500 to the reserve, which would have been the total sewer connections we would have gotten from East Point if they had connected. However, of course, they didn't because of the wetlands. So the question is, do we still want to transfer that amount or do a larger appropriated fund balance and transfer more next year to reserve?
What does our fund balance policy say?
We do not have.
I know, I'm joking.
what, if it's gonna get transferred in next year and you need to tap into it, can you? Or doesn't it really show up in?
It's just a matter of when you're gonna do it. Are you gonna leave it in your sewer fund and make interest on it in your sewer fund, or are you gonna transfer it over to your reserve fund? I mean, we don't have any projects that we need to use it for.
This is what we
It
have.
didn't come in, so technically I wouldn't have it go out. But we have a very large balance in our sewer fund, so it's just trying to figure out, just playing numbers. You gotta figure out what you wanna do, and then I can,
What are the best,
either way, it's eventually probably gonna go.
best accounting practices say to do?
I would, since we had planned on money coming in and money going out that didn't happen, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that's totally your decision.
I think that
Okay.
was my first reaction. If it's not coming in, let's don't transfer anything out. We can always do that in the future if we need to. But the decision now, I would just say leave it out. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's can speak up, but I think.
No, I agree with
Jody's
you. I agree.
recommendation is the right one.
Okay, another question, John, there's about 138,000 in I&I still for this year. Are you gonna spend any of that?
Just minimal amounts,
Like 10 grand?
yeah.
We don't need to buy any kind of monitoring equipment, scoping equipment, anything that would help us with our,
Well, equipment, it would be a 0.2, not a,
okay.
I mean, we could always transfer to a 0.2 if that's what you think. But,
Okay.
so just
So
10,
there's,
Actually, we ought to think about a camera,
camera for what?
televising lines.
I think that's a good idea.
What does that cost?
I would have to get numbers. I don't want to say anything, but I mean, eventually we could use a camera for everything, like storm sewer inspections. We have a lot of storm sewer. We can use it for sanitary sewer inspections. I mean, right now, the biggest problem is drain brain is cameras down half the time.
Oh, well, if
Hugo
that's
Heights-
the case,
Hugo
then,
Heights has a push camera and they aren't very functional because you can only, it's like pushing a rope. You can only go so far and eventually it never stops. And then, with it,
Oh, one job we were on, he's like, hey, take that rope and push it down that pipe. And he's sitting there, you got like 4 feet in the pipe, and I'm laughing, because it's not going anywhere, it's just right there.
anyway,
You can have that estimate to me by Monday morning?
I don't think they're cheap though. Not to get a rover. They're a rover. Basically, they power, they have drive wheels and they can go down to like a 6-inch pipe. And eventually, I think we're gonna end up having to get one, to be honest with you. Because if you get anybody to come in from another part of the state, like Rochester, there's not even that many in Syracuse. Rochester, Albany, and Buffalo are basically the primary
okay.
camera televising companies out there.
Okay.
There's nothing in Binghamton or Syracuse.
Do you have any idea what the price range is? 100,000?
Yeah, 150.
10,000?
150.
Because that would be, we would do it in next year's budget, and it would be just less money transferred to your reserve.
and especially with the work that you're anticipating doing out on, where are you?
It would be so,
Um,
what's that now?
The work that you're going to be doing, the stormwater,
Oh,
with,
culvert replacement?
Hills and,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Cuba Hills,
Yeah.
always,
Yeah, I mean, basically, we look in there as far as we can, but some of our storm sewer goes for miles, you know? It has entries, but we have no way to really inspect them.
and if we were paying attention to you, our infrastructure is old.
It looks good for I&I too, Ronnie.
that's what I,
At the end of the
that's what I'm
day,
thinking.
I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to pay attention to our infrastructure. And if we can find a few leaks in sewer, we start reducing the I&I. That's our goal.
The other thing that might help is when the village of Cayuga Heights goes after their grants, the DEC says, what are you doing about I&I? We can point to our village and say, we've invested this much money in our cameras, so we can investigate I&I. When we find it, we can fix it. I mean, and it could help them get a larger grant, and in that case, it would come back to our ratepayers who would not pay as much for the
Eventually is what you're going to see. You're going to start to see being penalties for I&I.
yes.
Not just necessarily increase, but penalties. You'll probably never see a reduction, let's face it, you know?
It's a-
If you fix an I&I, we're not going by that kind of I, we're going by water consumption still, you know? Going off in Bolton Point. That's how our billing. But if we're not doing anything for I&I, that's where we're gonna start to see penalties.
Eventually, we will.
And
It's very
actually-
close to that now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Ronnie, but isn't the village of Cuba Heights, Bolton Point is doing work next spring? Replacing water lines or something?
I'm not sure. This must be something you've heard in their engineering committee.
Was it Bolton Point you're talking about, or Hugo Heights?
Well, it was
One
Cuba.
water, one sewer.
I
We don't
know,
wanna
it's
mix
gotta
the
be,
two.
well, I think, well, it must have been water, because it was Bolton Point, and it was probably an engineering report.
Yeah.
Some old water lines.
We don't put a sewer camera down a water line, just so you know.
I know, however, no, I mean, who knows what's gonna happen once they
Right.
start digging?
Biggest thing is televising storm and sewer. Sewer is the biggest thing.
Right.
I mean, when we're in the wintertime, we could be going around, if we don't get much, this winter would have been tough to find time, but this normal winters, you can pop manholes and it's a good time to look for it, you know, fall rains.
We're gonna quote him on that. Mike's laughing at you, that you think next year I'll have plenty of time. That's what we all say.
Actually, I'm thinking of, why can't you just take Chris's phone and duct tape it? One of those things and that's
He did that one time, and it was hard to hear him, hard to understand him, the next time I talked to him.
You know, they make little cameras that you can stick into your ear canal, check if there's wax. It's like the exact same thing, only way smaller.
So John, try to get Jody an estimate by Monday, Tuesday.
For next year's budget.
No, it's gotta be by Monday,
Because we're
because
gonna
we gotta
discuss
set our
it
public
Monday
hearing,
night.
yep.
So if you can,
Yep.
for our Monday night discussion.
Like early, so I have time to actually adjust this.
Oh, I have a couple contacts right now, I'll make a call.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would this be something we could rent out to other municipalities?
That's what I was wondering.
What's that?
Is this something we could rent out to other municipalities?
With an
I don't think,
operator.
yeah, with an operator, I mean, if you have to do something to them, I don't think you ever rent to another municipality, you always do, shared services. Sure.
Yeah.
There,
And that
that's
just
better,
creates
because it
a-
always comes back.
Mutual aid kind of agreement, and it's just, I mean, no, to be honest, no, I wouldn't, it's something that's so, specialty equipment. Sometimes it makes sense on specialty equipment, because not everybody has one, but, if somebody needed an emergency camera, we would send a guy over to do it without charging it. That's how we would do it.
Yeah.
Because when we need them to come over for a favor,
It would do the same. It would be a shared service with equipment rather than just shared equipment.
you know,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, on the income side in sewer, G 2120, after finally Jesse got back to me from about the Cherry Road, I increased that dollar amount by $592. In the general fund, I sent you guys a letter for you to consider. For .11 for your deputy clerk treasurer. When are you planning to hire someone? Because we have that set at 75,000. I don't know if we need to keep it at that, or if you want, what is your thought?
My thoughts would be to keep it.
Okay, so you are ready to start like next month looking for someone? And getting someone in here starting at the beginning of June? Otherwise, you can lower it.
For 1 year. For 1 year, because it would be a short year, correct?
Yeah, because depending
Yeah.
on when you're gonna do
When you
it,
start.
When we can find the person, when we finalize the, but too many unknowns.
Yeah, I think the hiring process might take a little while.
so do you want it to go down to 60, 50? What would you?
I think it's a psychological thing. I'd like to know how much I'm going to spend a year. But you're right, if we don't have a complete year.
I mean, I can leave it there. It just, you're gonna end up not spending it, and then I'll go to appropriated fund balance the next year.
Right.
Well, I
Totally up to you.
I'd be more comfortable just leaving it.
Only because we're uncertain. I think it's probably good to leave it, so I agree with Kathleen.
Okay. So on that same note, if you're going to have someone by September, you would want to send them to NICOM with me, which would be, we would need to increase 1410.4 by 2,000 to send that person to NICOM.
And I would remove myself from going,
I don't,
so it would balance out.
No,
No,
I mean, we
I'm
have
saying
the
I'm
money.
removing.
we can afford to send one.
We can afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your village is very healthy.
I know you can, and I know there are enough free trainings through NICOM that I could avail myself of. So I am voluntarily withdrawing my name.
So in that
that's
case,
two
I
issues.
would lower, well,
So it's
here's,
a trade-off,
so you want me to lower the
or one
trustee?
and add to the other. You could also just leave it general and not name the people going at this point.
Do we have to name?
Because they come out of their.
No, you don't have to name, it's just a matter of what you want budgeted. I can leave it there, but these are all questions that you guys need to
Well, I
answer.
think just leave it.
Just leave it, but add
I like adding
2,000
it.
to,
Yeah.
okay,
If we do have somebody, NICOM is so valuable for them to go to.
great. Oh, yes, it's awesome.
Yeah, it would be very valuable to a new person.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question I also have under that point 4 is if you want to allow credit card payments for water, sewer, and tax. If you do, you're going to need to add $3,580.
I
So I
think,
know you guys have been talking about this, we're getting to tax time. So what do you want to do?
When you want the convenience of the credit card, you're charged 3%. So we're not going to charge 3%, but the credit card's going to charge us.
No, what happens, so here's how it goes. There is a charge to the customer based on how much, so if it's up to 2,000, access fee is $250 for e-check. Anything, there's like a 2.75% charge that the company charges. We don't get to see any of that. What we have to do is we would have to pay to buy the water program for $995 and buy the tax grants program for $995. Plus, there's an annual support fee every year of like $800. So you're adding this expense, but you're not getting.
When I pay the town, they ask me how I want to pay. And if I want to pay ACH, there's no fee. If I want to write a check and bring it to them, there's no fee. If I want to pay by credit card, it's 3%. Or maybe if I want to pay by some other method, there's like.
They had this same program.
But they charge me, like the landowner. The
Credit
additional,
card company charges you.
right, but the town gets the same amount regardless of how I pay.
They get the same amount of tax. The only thing that the village is paying more is you're paying for the program and your annual $800, well, $1,600 for the two.
and to your point, Carolyn, it gives the landowner, the homeowner, the choice how they're going to pay. And if we're serving the needs of our community, choice is always good to have.
Does this include permits and everything, or just?
Nope,
This is just for
this
water.
is just taxes and water.
The town, you can pay your permit fees this way.
It might have-
They have municipal codes. Or what is it called, general code?
But they also have Williamson Law Book for their water and sewer, so they have this program for that.
Okay, I'm in favor of choice.
I mean, especially for late fee, I mean, just
Well,
choice.
and our late fees that we collect may go down. And you have to remember that your only choices of income are your purchases and your.
Well, then it's an incumbent on us to give
So we might have to, in the long run,
choice.
raise our water rate to accommodate that. Maybe,
Or maybe not.
maybe not, you're right. But this is just a decision that you guys have to make. And you have been brought this before, so now it's budget time and now you're crunch time.
Crunchy, Jody.
And the thing
Choice.
to remember, we've been collecting names of people who have been interested in this. We have less than 70 out of our total population that are interested. But a lot of times people aren't that engaged in
Right, and they don't.
sometimes they just
Choice.
expect, and all of a sudden they cannot pay electronically, and then that's when I think we get another, someone signs up that I'd like to have a credit card, an electronic.
At least a secure
Yeah.
credit card payment method, which we're dependent
It
on.
blows my mind how many people walk in here to pay their bills.
We are only 4 square miles here.
It's a small
And most
community.
people.
I'm here like
come
4
right
times a
by.
month and I still mail in my bill.
I go to the town and pay mine.
I walk in and pay.
Yeah.
You walk in, it blows my mind.
And you know, a lot of times when people walk in, they have other questions too.
But I already have it, like, well, whatever.
I think it makes people kind of start to communicate.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Well, that's true too. I mean, there are a lot of good things about walking in, and it's consistent, but if people are traveling or vacation or become ill and can't pay their bill, I mean, for me, I have automatic payments on most everything, just in case, because nobody around to pay you, or whomever needs to be paid.
Joe, Susan and I are in favor.
Favor?
So the total amount that the village would incur,
$3,580. And then each year it will be another 1,600.
And it's
And it will.
risk management.
Yep. What do you mean it's risk management?
Well, we don't have as many people coming in, and now there's an upside downside.
I
don't
like
know.
actually seeing people and talking to them and getting their feedback and,
Recruiting them to serve.
yeah, done
The
that.
guy that comes in, he don't pay any bills, he just hangs out.
Yes. Well said.
Will you have a new friend?
Yeah, I don't want that friend.
you wouldn't believe how many people, how many concerns or complaints we get during election time or during bill time, tax time. Jody's always, hey, so-and-so saw something wrong with the road, you know what I mean? So we always, it's fine. We like that, extra eyes out in the field.
so would this allow, just like your credit card, you could set it up for automatic payment too?
Sure.
Any customer could.
They just set it up online. All the e-bill people, you know, can, right from there, can go to, so.
I'm ambivalent, but I can go either way on this one. I think it's a good thing because I also have a lot of my recurring payments on auto pay, just in case I get busy with village work and forget to write my
I
bills.
don't think it allows for auto pay.
No, we wouldn't, but I think from the
No.
customer side, they might be able to do
It
that.
will, you can go in and pay it with your credit card, but it does not. I don't think it's.
A lot of people are on sabbatical or hiatus around here in another country.
A lot of
That's my
times when they
point.
do that, they
Convenient.
call me
Do they?
and say, we're gonna be gone, and they put a credit on their account. Like, okay, no problem, I'll do that. So that's usually how they deal with them.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
This is another option for people.
Yep.
And I think for convenience sake, it's a good thing to have. And we'll just notify people that it's available now. And we'll just continue. So the initial price is a little high. The monthly is going to be a recurring charge on us. And like Jody said, we might have to raise our water rates just a little bit to cover that cost. But as much as we can, we could probably eat it or absorb it, I should say, within our current budget. But so I guess I'm in favor too.
Okay, so if everybody's in favor, we need to pass a resolution to authorize the software proposal.
Okay. I will move a resolution to purchase from Williamson Law Books Water Quick Pay for $995 with an annual support of $795 per year. Also, the Tax Glance Payment Portal for $995 with an annual support payment of another $795 a year. Just wanted to confirm, okay, so that's the motion.
Second, so I have a question too. Do we want to get it this year, so it's all ready for our tax payments in June?
Yes.
Do we have,
If that's the case, we can still do it, and we'll do it as part of this year's budget.
If we're gonna do it,
I'll
let's.
have to do a transfer.
Let's just do it.
We'll have to do
Yeah,
a transfer
I
once we
agree.
get to the end of, okay.
I agree. So the resolution would be that we make we pay for these, both the application
budget.
software and the support installation and training out of this year's, the 2025, 2026 budget. I moved.
Second.
Susan seconds. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
So we should have that up for June and then July water bills. There's no way we can have it by April. So, yeah, April 1st payment.
And it's not really ready in time to go in our newsletter, so it would be.
Well, we can say
It's
that,
coming.
because right in there, we had said there's already an article in there that we do not offer that. And I can say that it will be an option for taxes in June and water bills in July.
Thank you, Jody. That
Yep,
would be-
yep,
That
no
would start
problem.
the process now.
Okay. 1410.41, last meeting, you wanted 15,000 for HR contractor. Do we have any quotes for this, or what services are we asking for someone, for an HR contractor to do?
We have there are a lot of potential services. I don't have that list in front of me, but. Come in.
What are the services that we feel we need?
Have we really had a discussion about that?
Not really.
We should put together like a small subcommittee that has a meeting that then they'll present to the trustees.
I know that I've sent everyone.
You did.
Yeah, but that was like an AI.
An AI type of services that are available. We haven't gone through and decided which of those from that cafeteria list.
Yeah, so we need
Which
like a
ones?
working meeting to talk about what it's gonna be, TBD.
So you want it left at 15,000, even though we have no quotes or don't know what we want to do? Yes.
It's a budget line,
Yeah,
and it's there, so we don't forget we're going to do it.
and
Okay.
obviously the next year we will have all of that. We would get closer to the actual real number we need in the budget, but this one, it's like hiring a deputy clerk. We're just not sure. So let's leave it in at 15,000 just for this year. Next year will be more accurate.
All right. 1620.42. I have increased that, but it's still 2,000 less than was budgeted this year. Just given that Constellation is going to be doing an increase for our electric bills. And I just, like, the last couple electric bills have been a lot higher than normal. So I thought, well, why cut ourselves short? So I increased that.
Right, I think
You
that's,
okay with that?
yeah, that's the way, that's the trend right
Okay.
now for everybody.
1650.4, we had 15,000 in for IT support. We did hear back from HPM and an IT forensic audit. They said would only be 500, not 5,000. So I'm thinking, do we want to lower that amount? And have we decided if we're going to do a third-party website email or?
I would like to at least pursue a change of the IT system.
So leave 10,000 there instead of 15?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's probably safe.
Okay. Quio, I already talked to Kathleen about that. Okay, so then just to confirm other adjustments that were made at the 3-2 meeting, 1210.4, we lowered the mayor's contractual from 2,000 to 0 because he's not going to NICOM. 3620.13, I fixed the fire inspector amount due to transposition of numbers. So that's $10,390. 5010.1, we increased John's salary to 10%. A1001, I just rounded that down so that the actual tax rate doesn't go over 150. 50 cents will change it because they can go out 6 places. So I just rounded it down. CSD grant, also I rounded that down to $1 because we had 50 cents in there for that. We just don't deal with cents. We're all round numbers in the budget. So yeah, so we just need to make sure we have all the budget changes done so that I have a budget, because we need to set the public hearing on Monday. So also we're going to have the override, which we aren't actually going to override, but the attorney always says, do the override as a precaution. So we'll be setting on Monday night, setting a public hearing. And then we'll do that before we actually approve the budget then
That's for the
on the
override.
6th. So, yeah, so I need everything by Monday morning, if there's any more changes. Okay. You guys want to approve the vouchers? Kathleen did find a Ragusa was shoved in between the Nikon or the NICEAG bills. So I would like to go ahead and add that to the general vouchers, which will add $340.09. John, you're fine with that too, right? 'Cause I
Yeah.
think-
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just stuck in there. So would you like to approve any questions about the vouchers?
None from me.
Hearing none, I will move that we approve the vouchers for March 12th, 2026.
Second.
Got seconds? All those in favor, say aye.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for me?
No, thank you, Jody.
No. Thank you. Yeah, they covered a lot today. Thank you.
Oh, we have to, we got,
No,
we have to
I know.
have the budget ready for Monday.
Short fuse, yes,
Yes.
yeah, I know. So that's good. All right. Okay, going around the room, Carolyn?
A couple Greenway things. John and I met with Dondi because we're going to update some of there's a 2014 village map that doesn't have our parks and is missing some sidewalks. So we're going to update that and make some park maps for the updated Greenway plan that has like an actual picture of the park. Whereas right now, if you look at the Greenway plan, it just has sort of like a green square. So hopefully those have some nice pictures. Thank you, John, for setting that up. This morning I had a Lansing Trails Greenway meeting, and I already mentioned this to Ronnie, and Mike and John, I forwarded you, me and Ronnie, a trail map that takes you from Lansing to the village. And I think it's time, I'd like to set up a conversation with Mr. Horowitz and just feel out whether or not it's even accessible to go across his property in any capacity. And I was talking, and Jack Young was at the meeting, and he said he knows him. They ran together a few times, and I said to Jack, do you want to come with? And Jack said he'd be happy to. Jack owns the adjoining property and is giving all kinds of easements for trails. So are you guys amenable to this meeting, and who would like to be the setter-upper? I've never spoken to him. I could call him.
who,
I could call
Ken?
him. Yeah,
Yeah, my first line of defense would be go through Jeff Geiger, because Ken is like,
I don't know who Jeff Geiger is.
Jeff Geiger's his property
Pretty
manager.
manager.
Okay,
Yeah, I would just, I'll give him a call, and
Okay.
I'll tell him that you're gonna be calling him.
fine, okay.
I don't know Jeff. I know Ken. I'm sure that I've been introduced to Jeff, but I don't know him.
Okay.
Ken's usually not around much, or.
We
Yeah,
can do a Zoom meeting. I mean,
he's in Florida.
Yeah, but he's like,
Why?
Yeah, hardly ever here.
I don't know, he's kind of like,
Hardly ever here.
Okay, so I just want to start the conversation because every meeting it's like, well, we don't know how we're going to go. I'm like, well, we have to ask.
You have to ask, no.
So it's time to ask, so.
Peter
I
Grossman's
won't
his
ask.
attorney, so I mean, might be able to put it in with that, get your foot in the door. I think I would, my first thing would
Okay,
be
great.
call Jeff,
And tell them that I'm
and
going
then
to
tell him
call.
you're gonna be calling him.
Okay, and then I will call him. And then I'll send that map over to Jeff and say, this is what we want to talk to Ken about. And the nice thing about the map is that it has an eastern trail and a western trail, so it's not saying, like, we don't go through your property, there's no way to get here. We could always do the eastern trail, and the eastern trail would be very nice, it's just much, much longer. Ideally, we would do both trails, because then you could come more directly from the town, or you could take the scenic route, which would be more
You have a
scenic.
map already then?
I sent it to you today.
Is that what you sent me earlier? Okay.
I just got it
I'm
this
curious to
morning.
know what that is.
Just, I haven't had a chance to.
No, I you don't even need to look at
No,
it, it's
I-
just pink lines going from the town to the
Pink
village.
lines, oh boy.
The last time I saw this pink. Okay, so Greenway meeting. Okay, guys. So our bonding experience. So the Rotary has set their garbage cleanup date. It is April 18th. I was supposed to go to an admitted students day at Muhlenberg with my son, but I instead, actually Franklin and Marshall and students day with my son. But I think that we're gonna try to bond, correct? And on April 18th, Saturday, 9 AM in the Tops parking lot, and I'll invite the planning board as well, and the Greenway Committee and the zoning board of appeals. So April 18th. Now, I do recall that they canceled the last one for inclement weather. So if it's really bad, they'll put it off a week or whatnot. So I think if it's absolutely boring, they'll cancel it, and then also we can make our own time decision. I think it's 9 AM, meet at Tops at 9 AM. I actually got an email about it today.
So the following Saturday's the rain date.
Let's see. It's scheduled for Saturday 18th, the weekend before Earth Day. We'll meet at the Tops parking lot. More information coming closer. So when I did go, they supplied the bags for the collection and grabbers and gloves. And you just have to,
Vests.
and vests, safety vests, and yeah. Okay?
And how long will it last?
I mean, unless as long as you.
What
want,
road you doing?
Just leave. Well, what I liked about last time is I said I wanted to do Trip Hammer Road, so I walked from Tops, to Kendall and back. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to say we want to do something very village forward. So, as opposed to the Route 13, it's called highway cleanup. Most of the crew is out on 13.
Can we chat real quick about this map?
Yes.
We're thinking about this being part of our water line replacement. And the water line runs very much through that, kind of like, it might make sense to kind of make it a kind of like a joint project. It might save a little money on the trail side, you know what I mean? A 2-for-1 deal. Yeah. So, I mean, just a thought. So,
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
like, right up through here, we have water line up through here.
Okay.
And that's been high frequency of breaks, and that's the
Okay.
one I
Oh, that's-
put in the budget, so it might make sense to do it all in one. If we can get his permission to do that, we have an easement already through there.
Okay.
So.
Awesome. That would be great.
Yeah, I might wanna, so when did you wanna talk to Jeff, right away?
I mean, it's not an emergency.
Okay.
The town doesn't have any money
Oh.
to do any of this yet, so it's not an emergency.
Okay, well, no, I mean, and.
But I want, it's time to ask.
Yeah, and we're thinking about doing a water line project in like 2 years, so
That might be perfect.
that's what I'm saying, it might all work out.
That might be perfect. 2 years sounds great, actually. So yeah, but I want to talk to him because there's always
Absolutely.
like, what are we gonna do? Which way are we gonna go? Well, we have to figure, we need to ask the homeowners before we.
But I mean, I think it might make sense to kind of say, well, we're doing a water line project, maybe we could sneak a trail in here,
That's perfect. That's exactly why I wanted you to come.
plant the seed.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so highway cleanup.
Oh,
Oh.
it's the same day too that the downtown Earth Day event is. with,
Okay.
Cornell Cooperative Extension. Just throwing that out there. But that's in the afternoon.
Oh, see.
They can go to both.
Then I'm just gonna end on a happy note, which is I had to go to the Trip Hammer Mall on Saturday to stop in on a way somewhere. I could not get a parking spot because it was so hopping with activity with the farmer's market. I literally had nowhere to park. I had to wait for someone to pull out. So that was fantastic. And then Natalie and I get our haircut at the Trip Hammer Mall. And I asked the salon owner, how is the management? She goes, well, the first time I met the old manager, the old owner, is when she introduced me to the new owner, who I see every single week. And he always asks us like how things are, what we need, et cetera. So I think we have some really positive things happening at the Trip Hammer Mall. I did not know.
Good guy. Spencer.
Yes, but Spencer has applied to be on the Commercial Area Advisory Committee as a couple of other businesses. And so I will meet him as soon as we get that started.
Wait, are you talking about the marketplace?
Trip Hammer Marketplace.
Okay, not the mall, okay,
No,
okay. I just wanted to be sure, because that's the only one that, I didn't remember a farmer's market over at the mall, so
No.
I wanted to be sure. I
Trip
had-
Hammer Marketplace.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I said Trip Hammer Mall. Yeah, Trip Hammer Marketplace.
No, it's,
Yeah, so just, anyway, I was really happy about, how active it was. That's it.
before we go away from you, I talked with Kurt, what's his last name? Kurt Foreman, who is the new president of the Ithaca Area Economic Development Organization. And he is willing, he's sent me an email that he wanted to come in the next couple of weeks and talk about how he might be able to support us. He just recently had a reception, and I mentioned to him that we're starting the Commercial Area Advisory Committee. And he said he would be willing to come in and sit in on that and provide as much information as he could and listen and see if there's anything that they could do to help the village.
Awesome.
So I was gonna ask you if you wanted to meet with him.
Yeah,
When
we
he
just
first
want
comes.
to say hello and,
That way it would kick off the group.
and the Chamber of Commerce is also going to join us.
Yeah,
So
good, okay.
that would be great.
I don't know if he'll be a full-time member, but he said he would definitely be available, or someone from their staff would be available to come in and offer some advice or talk about topics.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay. Thank you, Carolyn. Susan?
Just yesterday, I think I noticed Bonnie was on the webinar with protecting communities from data centers, that webinar.
Yeah.
Lots of good information, and there are lots of links to share and all of that, that if maybe we want to look into responding or getting involved, or up to us later on.
Yeah, Dryden has already passed a code for their Town of Dryden, I think it is. Yeah, Town of Dryden passed code that we can use as an example to kickstart any discussion on that too. And they're the ones who are working on the BES also, right? Yeah, I think it's probably related for battery energy storage systems. I see that forthcoming within our village. If we're going to get a big solar project, surely they're going to have some kind of battery energy storage system associated with that, unless they're feeding directly into the grid. But I thought that they had to have some kind of a connection, rather than going direct, they go to battery then out. But so that's another possibility.
Because I think it'll take a long time for us to develop a code for battery storage, because we looked at it when we did the solar code, which took us a fair amount of time, and we didn't do it at the time because the solar was more pressing and there's a limited capacity. I was wondering, as you were mentioning the BES and as you were mentioning the DAS the other day, if we wanted to talk to Natalie about our code having a clause that says, unless it's explicitly allowed, it's not allowed. And whether that's a good way to have a placeholder in place for items that are not right now contemplated. So could we discuss that with Natalie on Monday?
Yeah,
Jody, maybe you can include that.
new topic for Monday.
Would you do it?
Then we have the 3:00 webinar.
Right, for municipal officials for the,
Rod Howe. Right.
Oh, the green, I can't remember, the G10. Yeah, yes. I won't be participating in that. I've heard everything from the first meeting. Yeah, it's open to everyone. If you're interested, watch it. And I would like your perspectives on what you're proposing. Yeah.
So that's all.
Thank you, Susan.
That's enough.
Okay. Kathleen?
I was on the Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan with Department of Emergency Response from the county and Tetra, the consultant that put together the template. And they basically, and you, Ronnie, you were on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they have, they've put together tremendous, I think, a really excellent template that's all filled in that can be adapted for local municipalities to edit. All the bullet points are there, so it's aligned with the county plan that still has to be formally approved at the public safety meeting toward the end of the month. But but it was basically coordinate the response, roles, responsibility, compliance, all of the components that are required by the state law for both counties and the local municipalities. So it's a lot of work went into it. So it's not reinventing the wheel. It's just customizing it for our local municipality.
I'm going to detract just a little bit.
Yeah.
We do not have a formal emergency plan, correct, in the
We
village?
do have an emergency response plan.
We work under the county.
One,
Okay.
We work under the county.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like pages 11 through 12 of the county plan or something.
but it would need to be updated.
Yeah, I think this is a new, apparently, a new not necessarily a new, an evolving requirement from the state that we have to put together an emergency management plan. It has certain aspects to it. And the plan that they have, the template that they sent out has everything in it. And we just have to go through that and determine what we as a village would need in that plan. Anything that does not apply to us or is already covered by, we would just remove or say, see county plan. So that's from the discussion today. So that will be ongoing soon.
I can send everybody what we have now.
Yeah, please
Do you want this added to your agenda for Monday? Or you're not ready?
We're not quite ready.
Sounds like we've got enough to do.
Sometime today, they're supposed to be sending us the county's version of this document that has more information than what the template does. And we'd like to see what they've actually implemented that we can take advantage of. I think some of that is there now, but there may be other parts of it that we can also use and not have to reinvent a wheel. So, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kathy.
That's okay. So it's the whole cycle from prevention to the actual occurrence to the scenarios that you would go through. And then if there's an event, who's responsible so that it's coordinated. It's got everything, including your annual and your quarterly, your annual update forms, so what those are, and everything's all in one template. So it includes training, everything. So I thought it was, so they are sending the PowerPoint, and because I asked about that, they're also sending the template.
That we have the template, but they're sending us their version that has not been yet approved. It's going through the Public Safety Committee at the county to be approved. Once it's approved, it's final, but they're pretty sure that it's final, but it would have more information from the county side. So that's what I'll be waiting for.
That'll
we
be-
really kickstart ours.
So that'll be the end of March. I forget the date.
Anything else?
No other meetings since the last one. That's coming up later today and next week.
Okay. Patrick?
Joint Youth Committee met on Tuesday. They'd like to make a presentation before our board. And we're looking at May 18th, I believe it is,
To trustees
the trustees, yeah,
on May 18th?
May 18th.
Okay. Have to be sure and put that on our future agenda.
But they haven't done it in quite a few years. They would like to.
Yeah, it has been a few years. They'll come in, I think. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
I have a question for you. Have you heard or spoken with your friend, the logo maker?
No, I have not.
Can you ask them if they're still interested?
I can check in with him. I know he's been dealing with some.
Just ask them if he's still interested.
Okay, yeah, I think, Okay, the plan's there. The only other thing that I have to report is that Kathleen and I met Monday and filled out the request for information survey from CEC. And we completed that form and submitted it. Basically, just kind of what we think that the village would need in the future. So we did that Monday morning here in the office.
Lynn
Yeah,
participated.
Lynn, they both participated by Zoom. So we had a little bit of discussion on different topics and completed the
What
form
was this, Monday?
past Monday.
Did you print something and
Yes.
it went up?
Yeah.
I'm like, I come in there and there's like 20-page documents. I'm like, is that you? I can't submit it all the way up.
I was using this computer and it defaulted to your printer.
I can't believe it would print that far away.
He's
It's
like-
all internet.
What did you print? I'm like, that wasn't me.
It's connected by the internet, so no, I'm sorry. I
you're good.
figured out, now, wait a minute, this is not even the same brand. I finally figured it out, after 2 or 3 times.
They had a time on it. It's like Monday, the 9th at 11 something. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'll remember that.
that was Kathy. Kathleen did that.
I asked for paper copy.
Well, I guess an extra one up my shop.
Yeah, it was the default printer, and I just hit print, but they had the weird, you had the manufacturer, blah, 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 number, name. Finally, I figured, well, wait a minute, that's not me.
It was a mysterious print. That's all. I was trying to figure it out.
Thanks, Jody.
And I had no idea where.
Computer, I mean,
That way. Hopefully the wind was blowing that way.
yeah, I forgot about that. So actually, take a look at the Government Operation Climate Action Plan 2021 that's on the website. Specifically, I think it's page 17, there are 2 charts. And just look at that and see if you've got any comments of high, low priority, because it's just a chart that lists high priority, low priority, and see if that still holds.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me.
Under publications, go to reports, scroll down, it's right there.
It's a 2021 document. It'll be a 2021,
So it's on the village website.
It's
If you go to publications
on the village website.
on the page,
Yep.
click on publications, you'll see a list. Go to record.
reports.
Reports. Click on reports, you'll see a
You want me to look at this? Can you, is that what you want me to look at this?
if you have.
I think she thought you were looking at it when you were.
Oh,
You were looking at it.
oh, no, I was, yeah,
You
no.
got the paper copy.
Huh?
You got the paper copy.
John, I can send you a link.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. If you want me to look at it, please send me a link.
Oh, you want a link?
I'm just,
Kathleen,
Link.
yeah, the link would
I
be,
know how to do links. No,
the CSC wants us to save the amount of paper we use, so.
okay.
Especially after right print.
You know what, it's not March is not mustache month, it's Movember. It's November is the mustache month. Movember, right?
No,
Let-
no shave November.
So is it March mustache month? It is now.
Yeah, hey, we could invent this and patent it, yeah. Lynn Leopold used to print stuff on the back page.
I do.
We had that discussion.
I still give her paper.
Huh?
I still give her paper. She still comes in and picks it up. for
We had that
BCIP.
discussion at Monday's meeting, as a matter of fact. She said,
Makes it hard though if get one flipped over in the middle of it, you're like, scratching your head, yeah. Like,
I do that, and you'll see graphs and
yeah,
charts and, yeah.
Just put a line through it with your pen.
yeah, there you go.
I don't have anything else, so someone want to move to adjourn?
I so move.
Susan moves, Kathleen seconds. All those in favor, say aye.
I'll be in touch with you Monday
Thanks, everyone.
morning. I want to work
You
on
want to meet
trees.
here before then?
No, where is the meeting?
Here,
Oh,
but
okay.
mostly people won't come, mostly people will zoom in.
But you're going to be here though,
I'm
right?
gonna come in, yeah. We can
What
do
time is
10.